Well, even this time, the CBC cannot run defense for the Liberal federal government. Rare CBC panel consensus. No Carney budget makes no sense. Over the past few days, literally minister after minister from the Carney cabinet has come out and pretty much said the exact opposite of what he ran on. Whether it's building new pipelines to make Canada an energy superpower and unleashing all of its natural resources, literally something the Conservatives ran on, or the cost of homes and trying to bring them down. Housing minister has come out and said no, housing prices won't go down. To now the federal government coming out and saying that there will be no budget plan until late this year in the fall. And you know things are truly bad when even the mainstream media, the number one place that runs defense for the Liberal government, cannot do so anymore.
Well, not necessarily the explanations that were given on camera. You can understand why they might want a bit more time than 2 weeks from now to have to table a budget, because that's what you'd have to be ready for. But to not even give an update on the deficit projections and the economic projections, Fred, like that I don't get. Like, you may not have your whole plan ready to go with the dollar amounts and you want to talk to industry and these things, but like we have no idea what the financial track of the government is right now, and they're going to ask people to vote on a $5 to $6 billion tax cut without knowing where that fits into the bottom line.
And it goes against the entire narrative of Carney that he is the man with a plan. That's why he told Canadians, and it's why he won this last election. They believed he had a plan. And in fact, he used it as an attack point. A plan beats no plan. He has no plan now. He doesn't have a fiscal plan. Now, he was elected leader of the party in March. He could have given direction even before the election on what he wants his budget to look like. He had a costed platform. Why is there no budget? I find it absolutely mind-boggling that they're doing this, that not giving anything, any kind of a statement.
But what about if it was like, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this too, right? When you guys won government in 2006 with Harper, he was sworn in early February. Budget came in May. So if you give like a financial update now and a budget in September, you know what I mean? But it doesn't even seem like there's going to be a budget at all. It's going to be an economic state. A Feds, your favorite thing.
Right. So look, the Liberals have always been trying to figure out how to budgets balance themselves. Just don't have a budget balance. Look at that.
Right.
No, it's absurd. And even going to September, I think, is not acceptable. You look at the 2006 when Harper came in, that was a wholly transformed government.
I get it.
And they had a number of months to do it, and they did it. Carney became leader of the party in March. He was prime minister in March. He could have started giving direction, and he just had a fully costed platform. Former, again, central banker, Mr. Finance guy, worked at the Department of Finance, knows the ins and outs of that department. He was one of the guys that helped us do our budget in 2008 when we did it. So it just makes no sense to me. In 2011, we had an election, and a few weeks later, we brought in the budget. Now, it was the same government, same prime minister, but it makes no sense, and it goes against the entire narrative that he set up, that he was the man with the plan.
Greg, what do you think? I mean, are people making too much out of this, or is this really surprising and difficult?
Probably going to tick off a lot of Liberals here, but I don't disagree. I did not necessarily expect a budget. I did expect an economic update of some sort.
Yeah.
And I also think, because it's an opportunity, you have some transformative things that you want to do. You could drive them through the lens of your spring economic statement, however you want to spin it. Also, the lack of communications. Like you could have talked about, we want to get our middle class tax cut passed. We want that done, and then we need to know for this reason. There were lots of ways to communicate around this, but there's really been nothing. I mean, I was glad that the minister came and talked to you about it, but I think at that point there was hours and hours of people wondering, why is Mark Carney's government choosing to go in this direction?
It's like they didn't think
I personally
people
don't
would
have
be
a great answer.
surprised. Do you know what I mean? It's like they didn't anticipate it, or maybe they just don't think it's important.
He ran on having a serious plan, so you think that they would have at least had something from the get-go. They don't even have an outline, at the very minimum. The number one thing this cabinet should be doing right now is getting that plan together. Number two, they have the ability to allow Parliament to run through the summer, to cancel the summer recess, so things can get in motion. But they won't do that. The only thing Carney has said is that over the next 4 years, there will be at least 129 to 130 billion dollars in spending, in extra spending. That's something he did confirm during his campaign before the election. The very news station that just received $150 million or so from the federal government because they were underfunded can't even bring up any reasoning or good points to defend this. Even they are like, this is ridiculous, this is absurd. He ran on having a plan and has come out with nothing. And the Liberals time and time again tried to hammer home the point that Pierre didn't have a plan and all he had were slogans. On top of that, we are now getting news that the Liberals have been declared the winners in Milton East, Halton Hills South by 21 votes after a recount process. I believe this brings the Liberals to 171 seats total. They are now one away from a majority. The Bloc in the Terrebonne riding are trying to take that recount to court and fight it because of some ballots that were rejected and sent back due to a mail-in process. What a nightmare. Looks like the Liberals are going to get a majority, and they don't even have a plan at all. They're just flying by the seat of their pants right now. Well, I know I can confidently say I did not vote for this absolute disaster of a government that is going to most likely be in power for the next 4 years, sadly. I want to know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.